Hey gang, I got an offer for you today from LinkedIn. As business-to-business marketers, your needs are unique. B2B buying cycles are long and your customers face incredibly complex decisions. Isn't it time you had a marketing platform built specifically for you? LinkedIn ads empower marketers with solutions for you and your customers. LinkedIn ads allow you to build the right relationships, drive results, and reach your customers in a respectful environment. On LinkedIn, you have direct access to build relationships with decision makers. Of the 875 million users on the network, 180 million are senior level executives. 10 million are C-level executives. You will also be able to drive results with targeting and measuring with their tools built specifically for B2B. And best of all, they work. Audiences exposed to brand messages on LinkedIn are 6 times more likely to convert. LinkedIn ads also rank #1 for security, community, and ad experience as part of the Business Insider's Digital Trust Study. Make B2B marketing everything it can be and get a $100 credit. It's a $100 credit on your next campaign. Go to linkedin.com/MPN to claim your credit. It's linkedin.com/MPN. Terms and conditions apply. Entrepreneurs Enigma is a podcast for the ups and downs of entrepreneurship. It's about the wins and the fails that we all face being entrepreneurs, how we learn from adversity. Every week I talk to a different entrepreneur with a story to tell. I'm Seth Goldstein. Come with me on the journey. This is Entrepreneurs Enigma. Let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of the Entrepreneurs Enigma podcast. I am here with a legend of marketing. Mark Schaefer is an incredible guy, an incredible author, and I'm so lucky that I know him. And we're friends on LinkedIn and all that. I've read all his books, and the thing that makes Mark different is that he writes in a way that's approachable. It's not highfalutin. It's not somehow he sneaks knowledge into these stories that are just fantastic. So Mark Schaefer is the principal bottle washer over Mark Schaefer Solutions. You also have a very popular blog called Business Grow. It's Business Grow, right?
Yeah, the website's Businesses Grow.
Businesses Grow. There's a plural.
Yeah,
It's plural.
yeah.
Exactly. You also are one of I would say the brave ones who has his own creator coin.
Did have a creator coin.
Yeah. we
But it
we're
was still
recording.
brave. It was still
It was
brave.
still brave. You tried it. You're definitely a
Yeah.
first adopter.
Right.
I've read all his books, like I said, and he's also an adjunct professor at Rutgers.
Yes.
You've pulled a stint in corporate America for, you said, 25 years.
That's
So he's
right.
paid his dues for
Right.
25 years in corporate America.
Yes.
And then he's moved off onto his own. So we'll talk about that journey and whatnot. So Mark, welcome to the show.
I'm so happy to see you. I'm happy to
It's
be
been a
here with
while.
you.
Awesome. So your latest book is Belonging to the Brand. And you're prolific because literally, I think I blink and there's another book out by Mark Schaefer.
It would be a 2-year blink, but I
Is it 2
get your
years?
point. Yeah.
So, well, that seems like it was a lot
Yeah,
faster.
it takes me 2 years to write a
Yeah,
book. It does.
I
It
would
takes me
say
2
it's
years.
pretty fast considering. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know I have a book in me somewhere, but I'm not I can't figure it out yet. So I'll talk
Okay.
to you when I get close.
That's a subject for another day.
That's definitely a subject for another day. But so Mark, you are big on community. You wrote a now, which I will say will become a seminal work in community, in being part of the brand, being part of a community. What's the premise of the book? Talk about that first, and we'll go into your entrepreneurial journey.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you so much for your
Anytime.
kind words. I appreciate it. I put so much into this book, and
Mhm.
to hear when someone loves it means so much. You never know till you get it out there.
Oh, absolutely.
I believed in
Nobody.
it. I did my best. When I write a book, I have one mantra in my head: I will never let you down.
Yeah.
And so I did my best. So thanks for the kind words. Well,
Anytime.
so let's talk about why community and why now,
Mhm.
because community is nothing new. And the thing that's different about this book is it views community through a lens of brand marketing. That has been
Mhm.
almost completely overlooked by the world. I think, my friend, this is the biggest overlooked opportunity in the history of overlooked opportunities because it's just
Wow.
staring us right in the face. So let's talk about what's going on.
Okay.
First of all, A couple years ago, I wrote this book called Marketing Rebellion. This was like a
Another
wake up.
fantastic one. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. It was a wake up call saying,
Mhm.
look, put down your algorithms, put down your automation for a minute, and just marketers, look at what is going on in the world. The stuff you're doing, it just doesn't work anymore. And we need to adjust to the realities of a world that has the accumulated knowledge of the human race in the palm of their hands. They
It's kinda
expect
crazy.
some,
Let's pause on that for a second.
yeah,
It's crazy
it's,
that
oh my
literally in our
gosh.
hand, you can look up anything.
You know,
Ugh.
this is something I thought about the other day.
Yeah.
At the beginning of the internet, there was, I think it was like a senior vice president of IBM
Mhm.
that said, I envision a day when there
That's
could be something like an internet search engine,
oh,
but it's
wow.
going to be so complicated and so expensive. Only 5 companies in the world could ever afford to have that thing.
Oh my
So,
god. That's
so
pretty
if you
forward
think of,
thinking.
let's step back and just think about that
Yeah.
miracle that we can really find anything we want.
Even the
And
wrong
that
things too.
we can
Even the
find
wrong information
we
too.
can find anything we want.
Yes.
The implication is that our customers have a different expectation of us and as
Mhm.
business leaders, as founders, as entrepreneurs, and as marketers. And so the book says, all right, what are the things about customers that are changing? What
Mhm.
do they need? How do we really appeal to them? One of the ideas in the book was belonging. It's a psychological, sociological, even a physical need, which was
Oh, it's true.
something I learned when I wrote the book, the new book. So, boom, 1 year later, pandemic.
Oh,
And
yeah.
all these things I'm predicting in Marketing Rebellion are coming true fast. It's like accelerating.
Oh my
And
god,
I
it's insane.
knew
Yeah.
when I wrote that book on that chapter on belonging, that was the most important chapter in the book. And
Yeah.
it's happening. It's now. The other big trend, Seth,
Yeah.
number one, marketing doesn't work like it used to. We've got to
Oh,
find
yeah.
some revolutionary new way to connect in a meaningful way with our customers. Number two, and this is going to sound weird, mental health.
Oh, it's so
It's
true.
everywhere. It's in the news every day. Our
Mhm.
children, our teenagers are
Our sen
suffering.
our senators even.
Our senators,
I mean,
yeah, God bless the man,
good on
right?
him
I mean,
to
he put
admit
himself
it.
into a hospital. God bless him for having the
Yeah.
wisdom to do that.
Oh,
But
god
it's in
bless
the
him.
news every day. And something that just broke my heart. There was a headline in the New York Times that said the loneliest generation and it had all the statistics about millennials and Gen Z.
Yeah.
And it's just heartbreaking that they're lost and they're lonely and they're not
Yeah.
connected. They don't have friends, record levels of depression and
Yeah.
suicide. It's just so now community is what we need. Many of our
Yes.
traditional community structures are gone.
Mhm.
And the root cause of this isolation and loneliness is very complex. But
Yeah.
one of the things is that people just don't belong like they used to.
We're gonna take a quick break, hear from our sponsors, and get right back to the show.
Hey, it's Jason with the Marketing Podcast Network. You have less than 1 month left to get special early bird pricing for the Creator Economy Expo 2023. This event, folks, is for content creators and entrepreneurs interested in building and growing their content-first businesses. Do not miss this show. Join over 500 bloggers, podcasters, authors, newsletter writers, speakers, consultants, and freelancers at the learning and networking event for content creators. Plan to attend May 1st through the 3rd in Cleveland, Ohio. Register now to secure early bird pricing before it disappears March 31st. Early bird pricing ends March 31st. As a special offer, you can get $100 off just for listening to MPN shows like this one. Go to cex.events to register. Use the coupon code MPN100. The address, the URL, cex.events. That's the whole thing. Type that into your browser. cex.events. The code you use, MPN100. The Creator Economy Expo, Cleveland, May 1st through the 3rd. See you there.
No, it's changed.
So you put all these things together, plus lots of new technology out there like the metaverse and Web3
Yeah.
that's saying now is the time to do this. There's so many opportunities. That's why I predict now is the time to take a fresh look at community.
Mhm.
And I think if you think about brand marketing is about building an emotional connection to your customers,
Mhm.
creating this emotional expectation with your customers. There's
Absolutely.
no better way to do this. And almost every company is overlooking this idea.
It's incredible, and it's not necessarily an easy thing to implement.
No.
It's an easy thing to mess up,
Yes.
but it's also when it's done is freaking fabulous. When you have your customers evangelizing for your product because they love your product that much,
Mm,
and they're not asking for free product, they're not asking for anything, like Patagonia, for example.
mhm.
They believe so fervently in the product, in their
Yes.
mission, in the
Right.
community, that's enough for them.
Yeah, and that's an important point. Maybe
Mhm.
like the most important point about
Ooh,
community
yeah.
is the reason that most communities fail and seem so hard is because most companies begin a community with a goal of selling more stuff,
Yes.
which is fine because we need to do that. But that doesn't give people a reason to gather. People aren't going to gather because you're going to pluck more money out of their wallet. They're going to gather because there's something you're doing that aligns with their hopes and dreams and their purpose. They want to grow something. They want to learn something. They want to change something. They want to be connected and maybe be even entertained in a new way. And those are all
Mhm.
reasons why people are going to gather. Let's not sugarcoat this. Like you said, it's
It's that,
hard.
yeah, it's
Spending time
tough.
on a community, it's just like any other kind of marketing. There's so many distractions out there.
Mhm.
People could be watching The Mandalorian.
There
They
you
could
go.
be playing World of Warcraft. They could be reading a book. Those are all competition. That's all competition for community.
It
So you've
is.
got to create a compelling reason for people to gather.
You really do. And when you think about it, when you get that community, it's also how you keep people there and how them there to keep them engaged. You show them that you care about them and what they think and their opinions, and then it flourishes. But you can also go the opposite way. You can do such a great job getting everyone in, and then just crickets.
Yeah.
So it's more our buddy Ted Rubin says, return on relationship.
Uh-huh.
It will turn into stuff down the road, but it's not a concrete number. It's not what I've
Yeah.
seen in
It's
my
just like
communities.
any
Yeah.
brand. If you do direct marketing, which is like
Mhm.
advertising and coupons, okay, that's pretty easy to measure. And
It is.
that's marketing that's coin operated. You put more coins in to
Yeah.
advertising, you get more coins out. That's still tenuous even today.
Yeah.
But brand marketing is about awareness, about
Mhm.
image, about emotional connection. It's about like Coca-Cola polar bears.
Mm.
It's like
Everyone loves
Coca-Cola
those.
has
Yeah.
spent decades and millions of dollars, probably billions of dollars, trying to convince us that it's not brown sugar water. It's about the love and
Mhm.
happiness of baby polar bears. And so whenever you associate, Seth, I even gave this was like amazing to me
Yeah.
how pervasive this brand awareness is. I
Mhm.
gave a speech in Poland one time. It was sort of like
Wow.
a wonderful event. It was like the South by Southwest of Poland.
Oh,
It
wow.
was like there were like thousands of people there.
Yeah.
I was on this big rock star stage. It was
Oh, that's
really quite
awesome.
an event. So I said to the audience, sort of rhetorical. I said, whenever you think of Coca-Cola, what do you think of? And someone shouted
Mhm.
out polar bears. Even in
Yeah.
Poland, people think of polar bears.
It's
Now,
pervasive. Yeah.
does that sell more Coca-Cola?
Mm.
Obviously, it does. Can you measure that? Probably no,
It's so true. It's like,
because that's brand marketing. And
mhm.
so a longer term sort of thing. It doesn't mean you shouldn't do it.
I'll
It's
do it.
very important to do,
Yeah,
but it's not quick. It's not a quick and fast return.
absolutely. Mark, like we said at the very top of the show, you did a 25-year stint in corporate America,
Mhm.
decided to escape. I mean, most people I know don't last 25 years in corporate America, so good
Yeah.
for you. I'm
Yeah.
sure you learned a lot there too. I mean, I always not corporate America,
Yeah.
but like you do learn a lot. You also learn what you don't want to do.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was fortunate. I really
Yeah,
was in that I worked for a Fortune 100 company,
it's
but
amazing. Yeah,
it was, I know this is going to sound weird. It really had a family orientation
that's good.
and they
Mhm.
hired great people. They invested in their people. They paid for me to get 2 master's degrees.
That's amazing.
I mean, I got to go I traveled all over the world. I
Hmm.
actually had lunch with an old friend of mine from Alcoa last week. And everybody that leaves Alcoa becomes a star because Alcoa puts so much money into the training.
That's
So, I
fantastic.
mean, I always had an entrepreneurial bent, but I was
Mhm.
afraid to do it, Seth, because I always was worried, would I know when to stop working?
That's
Which
a big one.
became true.
It's so true because you
It was a
enjoy what you're doing.
realized
Yeah.
fear, uh,
Yeah.
because I am a hard worker, but luckily I love it. I love every minute of it. You have fun every single day.
That's
But I
fantastic.
got to a point, my last job with this company, I was their global director of e-business, and I was pioneering
Wow.
internet and social media applications all over the world. But I needed something new, and they wanted me to move to Europe. And I was in a personal situation where I just
Yeah.
couldn't do it. And I tried for a while, and I thought, you know what? It's time to do something on my own.
Yeah.
So I started consulting, started writing, and it literally just took off from day one. I found my place in the world,
That's awesome.
and I have no regrets.
So what's the best thing about being an entrepreneur?
Oh, it's definitely, well, oh, I don't know. Where do I start?
Where do you start
Well, I
exactly?
think having control of my own time and my own destiny.
Mhm.
Like, I have a full schedule this week, but I looked at the weather forecast, and it's gonna be, like, 79 degrees here on Thursday in
W
February. So I
wow.
had some meetings in the afternoon, and I said, I said, "Hey, my friends, I know we had this scheduled, but I wanna go play tennis with my wife,"
Oh, I'm
you
sure you
know?
understood that, yeah.
So, I love that. I love having that control. When in the corporate world,
Mhm.
so much is out of your control.
Yeah.
Your destiny could be about, a boss or the boss's boss or what's going on in the marketplace that
Mhm.
may necessitate reorganizations and cutbacks, and
Mhm.
union strikes can,
Yeah.
turn a company upside down. I had a really a pretty good corporate experience
That's
actually, and
good.
I have no regrets, and it was very incredibly important to who I am today. But I'd never go back. Never, ever, ever go back.
So then on the flip side, what keeps you up at night with entrepreneurship?
Well, that's funny because I couldn't sleep last night. I had a
Oh,
terrible night last night.
oh,
What keeps me up is, mm, it's about my whole career, Seth, has been experiments.
yeah.
Everything. When I look back, it's like, I've never done this before, but let's do it and see what happens.
Yeah.
And so I've created new classes, new workshops, new events, and there's a lot of pressure to put butts in seats.
Yeah, there is.
I know I'm doing the right thing. I know I'm creating great value, but it's just launching these things and getting butts in seats and making them successful, not just for me, but for
Mhm.
everyone, because I teach in a way where you learn from each other. You've got to take advantage of the brilliance of the in the room and make it interactive. So the best people I can attract to these programs. It always works out. It
It
works out,
does.
but it's just like I'll wake up in the middle and I just bring some detail I forgot.
And then write it down real fast and try to go back to sleep, yeah.
Yeah.
So here's the big question. It's not hard, it's not Barbara Walters level big, so don't worry about that, but
Are you
every
gonna make me cry? Are
no,
you
but
gonna make me cry?
I'm not gonna make you cry. I
All
don't
right.
think so. But anyhow, what is the most important thing to carry with you all the time?
It's different for everyone, but for me, it gets back to my personal purpose. When I
Mhm.
started, it was really about money and hustling and getting a business going.
Yeah.
But what really keeps me going today is purpose. Is I've had this amazing career,
Mhm.
and I've got the ability to help people and send the elevator back down and
Yeah.
nurture people and lift them up. And Seth, I see that, if you remember, because I know
Mhm.
you're a fan of my books,
Yes.
the last chapter in Cumulative Advantage, the
Yes.
cumulative advantage is about momentum.
Yes.
In the last chapter, I put myself on this guilt trip. Like,
You did,
I've
yeah.
just written a book that is inaccessible to a certain part of the population. And I hate that I've created something that's in a way elitist, assuming that someone's going to have the money to pay for this or someone's going to have
Mhm.
the time to activate these ideas. And I settled down on this idea that what we can do is put these ideas in place and create ripples of opportunity for everyone.
Love
It
it.
can just be paying attention to someone, answering their questions, making a connection for them, giving them some of your resources.
Mm.
I've got knowledge and resources and a platform that I can use to elevate other people. That's going to send a ripple through history. I know it does. I know it does. And it's happening in many ways I'll never know.
Mm-hmm.
But I take great satisfaction in knowing that, I'm not going to leave anything on the table. If there's something I can do to send a ripple through history, and something I can do to make this world, and maybe if a family's going to be fed, or someone is going to achieve something that will help the world, I'm not going to leave anything on the table. That's why I'm here right now.
Love it. So people can find you at businessesgrow.com.
Yes.
You can find you on LinkedIn, and we'll have the link because it's Schaefer, Schaefer.
Right, that's correct.
You're missing some F's and the A for the E.
Well, it just depends on who you ask, but
exactly. So when in doubt, you can look at Mark
nobody
Schaefer.
can remember how to spell Schaefer, but if you can remember Businesses Grow, you can find me.
Yes.
You can find the books we talked about.
Yes.
We've talked about, my podcast and my blog and my social connections. I follow everybody back on LinkedIn. So all my connections are there at businessesgrow.com.
Definitely. We'll have that in the show notes. And Mark, thank you so much for making the time. I know you're so busy. It's going to get gorgeous down there before the snowstorm. So when we're recording this, so go play some tennis.
All right. Thank you, buddy.
All right. Take care. We'll see everyone next week. That was a great show. Hey, if you're enjoying Entrepreneurs Enigma, please give us a review on the podcast directory of your choice. We're on all of them. And these reviews really help others find the show. Also, if you're getting value from the show and want to buy me a coffee, go to the show notes and click on the link to help me stay awake while I bring you more great episodes to your ears. That's in the show notes, and I look forward to the next episode. Take care, guys. Goldstein Media hopes you have enjoyed this episode. This podcast is one of the many great shows on the MPN Marketing Podcast Network.
You may know you're listening to this show along the Marketing Podcast Network, but did you know there are other great shows on MPN to help your business? Colin Jeffries and Eric Reed host a great podcast called the Rethink Marketing Podcast. Colin, tell us what these fine folks will get out of listening.
Well, Jason, on the Rethink Marketing Podcast, we unpack the myths, misconceptions, and flat-out lies of marketing and sales. Our listeners tell us that we help bring different perspectives to common business growth, wisdom, and advice.
That's great. Where can people subscribe?
They can subscribe at rethinkmarketingpodcast.com or listen on their favorite podcast platform, including marketingpodcasts.net.
You heard him. Go subscribe.
This podcast is heard along the Marketing Podcast Network. For more great marketing podcasts, visit marketingpodcasts.net.